Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Senior Day for the Carthage College men's volleyball team. Today we will recognize our 7 graduating seniors: Mitchell Geiger, Drew Jansen, Justin Chernak, Easton Gavin, Keegan Brummett, Jim McNulty, and David Marcus, as they take the floor of the Tyrone Arena for the last time during regular season play. Over the past 4 years, these seniors have helped amass 81 victories for the Carthage Firebirds and only 17 losses, for a winning percentage of 83%. They've helped the Firebirds win 2 regular season conference championships, 2 conference tournament titles, and made 3 trips to the NCAA Division III men's volleyball tournament, and won back-to-back NCAA men's volleyball national championships in 2021 and 2022, the first 2 championships in school history. Each of our seniors will be presented with a green jersey as a token of our appreciation for their dedication to the men's volleyball program. Our first senior is outside hitter Mitchell Geiger. He's accompanied by parents Shannon Geiger, Mark Geiger, and sister Cassidy Geiger. Muskego was vaccinated and graduate of Muskego High School. Mitchell will be graduating with a degree in business this spring. A 2-year member of the Carthage program after transferring from Purdue Fort Wayne, Mitch has played in 135 sets over 40 matches for the Firebirds. In that time, he has amassed 148 kills, 182 digs, 38 aces, and 19 blocks. His impactful serving and passing was vital in our NCAA tournament run in 2023 and has been instrumental to this year's team being in position to win and share the CCIW regular season title. Outside hitter number 2, Mitchell Geiger. Our next senior is outside hitter Drew Jansen. He's alongside his parents Jill and Bill Jansen. Wisconsin and Germantown High School, Drew will graduate with chemistry and a biology degree this spring. A 4-year member of the men's volleyball team, Drew has participated in 52 matches and 163 sets throughout his career. He earned 280 kills, 194 digs, 45 blocks, 42 aces, and 350 and a half points in that span. His ability to affect a match with his offensive creativity has been essential to the Firebirds throughout his career and during the 2023 NCAA tournament run. His ability to affect a match with the power of his arm and defensive effort has led the Firebirds to many wins throughout his career. Outside hitter number 3, Drew Jansen. Our third senior to be celebrated today is Libero and setter Justin Chernak. He was on the floor alongside his parents Laura and Rob Chernak. Also a late Minnesota native and Eden Prairie High School graduate, and will graduate from Carthage with a degree in political science with minors in women and gender studies and business administration. Justin spent 3 years with the Firebirds men's volleyball team. In those seasons, Justin played 119 sets, spanning 37 matches. He registered 67 digs, 38 assists, 14 aces, and 4 kills throughout his career in the red and white. Justin was incredibly impactful in his role as serving and defensive specialist throughout the 2023 and 2024 seasons. His 8-point run at the service line was started with this set during the 2023 CCIW tournament semifinals, was instrumental in getting the team into the NCAA tournament. The Maryland setter number 4, Justin Chernak. Our next senior is libero Easton Gavin. Today he's accompanied by his parents Mike and Don Gavin, a 4-year Carthage men's volleyball team member who came to Kenosha from O'Fallon, Illinois, graduated from O'Fallon Township High School. Easton will graduate with a data science major after this spring semester. Over his time as a Firebird, Easton saw action in 60 matches over 181 sets played. He accumulated 73 days and 11 aces throughout primary action as serving a defensive specialist. Easton has been vital in the serving role throughout his career, and Carthage won the 2022 national championship while he was on the baseline. Libero number 5, Easton Gavin. Senior outside hitter Keegan Brummett. He can participate in 81 sets over 34 matches throughout his time at Carthage. He has amassed 162 kills, 73 days, 39 blocks, 11 aces, and 11 assists. He's offensive firepower has been key to several Firebird victories. Particularly this year, our 3-set win over Benedictine, hitting 381 with 12 kills, and a 4-set win against North Park, hitting 421 with 11 kills. Outside, number 6, Keegan Roman. Our next senior is setter Gene McNulty. He's accompanied by parents Diana and Gene McNulty and sisters Cassidy and Logan McNulty. From Oaklawn, Illinois, and graduate of Marist High School, he will graduate this spring with a degree in criminal justice and psychology. Gene has been a stalwart of the Carthage lineup for all 4 years on campus. He played in 316 sets, spanning a total of 93 matches. In that time, he produced 3,098 assists, 447 digs, 81 blocks, 80 digs, and 52 aces. He's a 2-time ABCA First Team All-American, 2021 ABCA National Newcomer of the Year, 2-time ABCA All-West Region, 2nd-time CCIW Setter of the Week, 2-time CCIW All-Conference Player, and 2021 CCIW Newcomer of the Year. He holds numerous Carthage records, sitting 3rd in career assists, 5th in career assists per set, and 8th and 9th in single-season assists per set. The single match with Lawrence vs. Benedictine in the national championship was pivotal in securing the Firebirds championship in 2021. Setter number 11, Gene McNulty. Our last senior is middle blocker, David Marcus. He's joined by his mom, Heidi Bielefeld, and stepdad, Chris Bielefeld. A native of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, and Wauwatosa East High School graduate, David has spent 3 years as a member of the Carthage men's volleyball team. He graduated this spring with a degree in political science. During his time with the Red and White, he saw action in 49 matches and 171 sets, accumulating 414 kills, 133 blocks, 128 days, and 39 aces. He's earned numerous awards in his 3 years on campus. He was named the 2022 ABCA National Newcomer of the Year, 2-time ABCA All-American, 2-time ABCA All-Region Selection, and 2-time CCIW All-Conference member. David also made his name in the Carthage record book, sitting 7th in a single season for attack percentage in 2022, hitting 465. Middle blocker, number 22, David Marcus. Congratulations to Mitchell, True, Justin, Easton, Keegan, Gene, and David on your outstanding careers. Carthage family wishes you the best luck in the future, and we thank you for all you've done for Carthage Athletics.
Welcome into our broadcast this afternoon. As you just saw, it is senior day here in the Tarbell Arena, and we just honored the Carthage seniors on the men's volleyball team. They have a big match coming up against Augustana. We'll give you the intro to that one from the PA system as well.
Remember to capture veterans, we pay tribute to all that sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who endangered themselves in harm's way in service to America. Now at this time, please rise and move your caps for the playing of our national anthem. middle blocker, the 6'6" senior from Portland, Oregon, number 10, Dan Schultz. And outside hitter, the 6'1" junior from Parker, Colorado, number 22, Sean Carlson. And outside hitter, the 6'3" junior from Bergen, Illinois, number 23, Zach Morbiano. And middle blocker, the 6'4" freshman from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 24, Ty Diaz. And outside hitter, the 6'5" junior from Allen, Texas, number 32, Aiden Bowler. And at the barrel, the 5'10" senior from Edmondsville, Illinois, number 4, Matt Seller. The coach of the Vikings, Mike Ducey. Season 5, Terry Vancouver, Ken Talbot, and Ellie Benson. And now, fans, it's time to meet your Carthage College Fire!
And with that, we are ready for action here this afternoon as Carthage looks to wrap up a share of the CCIW regular season title here this afternoon. They're also looking for their 10th straight win overall this season and their 10th win at home dating back to last year on Senior Day. They've dropped just 4 sets here at home. Their last home match loss came against 6th ranked at the time, North Central. That happened on April Fool's Day last year. I'm Don Wadowitz, inviting you into the Tarbell Arena. I don't know, would it be pinch setting, pinch attacking here on the Firebird Network. Want to thank Addie Weeks, Allison Koklamis, and Sophia Salcido. They are our production crew here this afternoon, taking us through this match. So with that win, if the Carthage can pull it out, they will be the co-CCIW regular season champs with Loras. Those two schools splitting their matches this season. that would return Carthage to the top in the regular season after giving up that title to North Central last year. Carthage has never lost to Augustana, 12-0, and they've never lost a set to Augustana here at home. They last played on March 16th. It was a 3-1 victory for Carthage out in Rock Island. See how Carthage, what kind of start Carthage gets off to. Obviously, you saw that they are going with their seniors as starters, not in that starting lineup. Gene McNulty giving up a spot to be able to highlight a couple of the other seniors that don't maybe get as much of the playing time as Gene does out there all the time for this Carthage team. If you're with us for the senior day festivities, his accolades just kept going and going and going and going and going as they were talking about everything that he has accomplished and helped this team accomplish in his time at Carthage. Carthage, though, the start is important here. They've dropped the first set in each of their last 2 matches, that coming against North Park and Loris. In 9 matches this season that Carthage has won the match, but they've dropped at least 1 set. They've lost the first set in 7 of those matches. Carthage will start off with the serve here this afternoon and try and get off to a quick start as Girardot will go back to serve. Controlled by Augustana. They set it up over on the right side for Carlson. Blocked back over. Joust at the net. Kept alive by Augustana again. Into a double block. Back to the Augustana side. They go right side again for Carlson. And he sails that one a mile too long. And it's 1-0 in favor of Carthage. Coming in 16-5 overall on the season. 8-1 in conference play. Augustana 18-5, 5-4 in the CCIW. This time setting middle, and it is dug out but not controlled by Carthage, and it will go to Augustana here. 1-all as Jack McDonald checks in. And now see a few substitutions. McNulty's going to come in. Gets a big hug from Drew Jansen as well out there. And Owen Otto entering for Carthage. Back to serve, Carlson the junior. And Carlson sends that one wide and long, and it'll come right back to Carthage. 2-1 in favor of Carthage. Checking in for Augustana, Aiden Bond, 6'2" junior out of Aurora, Colorado. As McDonald check that, Geiger back to serve, and he sends it long. Maybe a little bit of nerves. It's always rough. Senior day, some schools have started to do senior day earlier in the season. Many of those tend to be the fall outdoor sports that tend to run them a little bit earlier because they want the nicer weather, but also talking to some coaches, the emotions, takes the emotions out of it as Moriano goes back to serve. Geiger handles that one, and Carthage sets middle, and the kill by David Marcus in the middle for the Firebirds. 3-2 the Carthage lead as Keegan Brummett takes it for Carthage. But yeah, a lot of those emotions that come into play as that one goes into the net. It'll go right back to Augustana. It'll be Ty Heater, freshman out of Colorado Springs, that will take the serve here. Your parents are here, as you heard, some big cheering sections for a few of the players here. That goes wide and long as we're having a lot of service problems both ways for these two teams getting things started here. Ryan Morey is going to come in for Carthage, and Morey will go back to serve. But you got the parental units here. You have the festivity right before your match, in between warm-ups. Don't really have an opportunity to maybe get in that right headspace, that competition headspace again. joust at the net, won by Carthage, but Augustana is able to control, and McNulty with a block on the near side for Carthage makes it a 2-point Carthage lead. And then you got to go out there. You've warmed up, and now you're kind of cooled down again. That was about a 10-minute ceremony. That's knocked over on one. Carthage controls and able to knock it down in front of the block is Cholowinski for the Firebirds. Now doubling up Augustana early on here in our opening set in the Tarbell Arena. This one, Augustana able to set up, and on that right side, quick hitter by Schultz, the senior out of Portland, Oregon. And it'll go back to Augustana with Schaefer serving. Schaefer, a freshman setter from Northbrook, Illinois, a little bit south of the Wisconsin-Illinois border here. And then you're the other team and you're watching these festivities, maybe a little bit of an advantage for the home squad there. McNulty saves that one nicely, but it's blocked back to the Carthage side by Schultz. And it'll be a point for Augustana as they pulled it within one early on here in our opening set. Just a little hard to maybe get pumped back up, and a good eye on that one. Nice rods and cones by Brummett to watch that one go long. And checking in for Carthage is Ben Heiss. And McNulty back to serve. See how McNulty does here. A little bit of a break for the lefty. Gets that one in nicely. Block at the net by Carthage. Sends it back to Augustana. Augustana sets up right side, and got the love from the ribbon, did Bolin, but then it went and rode that ribbon down. Carthage was in position, but just caught the ribbon of that net. And going back to serve is Bolin, the junior from Allen, Texas. McNulty sets it up on the left side, and that rides the ribbon the wrong way for Carthage, as Otto just couldn't quite get enough on it. And we're knotted up at 7 apiece. So a lot of coaches work for a few schools in a few different conferences. Oh, that was a nice one-timer. Cholowinski from McNulty hammers it down, does Cholowinski. And Carthage takes the lead and the serve back, as Otto will go back there to put this one in the air. Nice dying serve in that middle back part. Tipped back over to Augustana, and trying to go into the double block. They just get it over, free on 3. Carthage controls, lefty slam from Heiss is picked up by Augustana. They try to power it over on the far side. Carthage sends it back. That into the net, just got enough of it. Did Moriano. And it'll fall in front of the Carthage defense. Knotted up at 8 apiece as Schultz goes back to serve for Augustana. So just, a lot of those emotions come into play. And different players handle that different ways. Oh, that'll be an ace just in front of Otto. Couldn't quite get the pancake down, and Augustana takes their first lead, 9-8. I will say pre-COVID, that was really becoming a popular thing. Now, after COVID, seems like coaches are maybe going back. McNulty saves that one from going in. Oh, and off the top of the netting, Cholowinski, and it rides out of bounds. And it'll be a 2-point Augustana lead. Now, post-COVID, it seems, and that's an ace as it catches the back corner on the far side from our cameras. Couple of aces here for Schultz. He came in with just 9 on the season. He's picked up a couple here. McNulty saves that from going out. Nice cross quarter from the lefty attacker Heiss, and is able to get it in on that far inside sideline. And Carthage will try to build back here as they now trail by 2 with Cholowinski serving. And that is down as he's able to get it. Nope, what did they call? There was an overrule here. Looked like it was not down, but they are going to give the point to Carthage. So Carthage within 1. Right side. That is dug out by McNulty. Back to Augustana, and Augustana into the net. That was off of the arm of Moriano. And Carthage able to tie it back up here. So this has been a good service run from Cholowinski, but puts that one into the middle of the net and gives Augustana the lead back as we hit about the midway point of set number 1 here. Carthage raced off to a 3-point lead. Augustana came back, tied it up. Carthage took the lead. That goes high into the rafters. Good attention there, and a little bit of a mix-up. McNulty nearly putting it into Marcus's face, and the attack goes off of the antenna, and it will be Carthage volleyball as Zach Nolan checks back into the set for Carthage, and in for Augustana is Bond as Geiger goes back to serve. And a big ace there as Bolin sends it backwards. And Carthage takes back the lead 13-12. Geiger coming in, 14 service aces, 3rd on the team this season. That one he sends well too long, and we're back to evened up at 13. Augustana, their best season in men's volleyball for their program. As that goes wide, a little bit of a sidewinder. Looked like a knuckleball there coming off the arm. And they'll give it back to Carthage with Brummett going back to serve with the 1-point lead at 14-13. Augustana 18-5, 5-4 in the CCIW, receiving votes in the AVCA coaches poll as they set up here and set on the near side. Nice dig by Nolan, who just checked in. Free on 3 back to Augustana. They're going to set over on the near side again, and this time able to knock it down. I believe that was Bolin with the attack. Heater will serve for Augustana. Knotted up at 14, and he hits it off the top of the netting. Service error. Carthage will take the serve back. Checking in for Carthage is Maury to go back to serve. But yeah, really nice season. Last time I had joined you, Augustana was in the midst of playing all 3 ranked teams in the CCIW. And a kill on the left side. Slamming it down is Bolin for Augustana. Keeps us at even 15 all. And sends Schaefer back to serve. A couple of substitutions here for Carthage. Little loft serve to the 3-meter line. Nice little fake, but send it just wide. Do the Firebirds on that far side attack. They had that wide open. Otto just hit it off the mark just a touch. And it's an Augustana 1-point lead here in our opening set. Gonna try the left side again, and wiping it off the block that time is Otto. And it'll come back to Carthage. Otto leading the team with 3.17 kills per set. As McNulty serves with us knotted up at 16 all here in the opening set. Knocks that one off the top of the ribbon. Nice dig by Brummett. McNulty keeps it alive, but trying to tip it over the top, and Ben Schultz right there for Augustana to send it back to the Carthage side as they take a 1-point lead in the serve, with Bolin going back to serve. But yeah, Augustana, third time that they'll finish with a winning record. McNulty sets it middle, little punch over the top is dug out. Nice dig by McDonald for Carthage, and then able to slam it down is Otto for the Firebirds. And going back to serve is Otto, who just got that kill. As we're knotted up at 17, his second kill of the set here. And that gets sent a little too far, and blocking it down is Cholowinski for Carthage, and that will lead to a timeout here for Augustana. 18-17, Carthage takes a late set one lead, and they'll have the serve here, as Augustana uses their first timeout. These teams, when you look at the conference rankings individually, you have Ben Schultz. He's number one in the conference in hitting percentage, .491. He comes in 152 kills, just 19 errors on the year. Cholowinski, he's third for Carthage with a .363, and then Otto and Heiss at 6th and 7th, and Heater and Bolin for Augustana at 8th and 9th. So very good attacking teams that we're going to witness here for the rest of our afternoon together. McNulty is third in the conference in assists per game with 8.2, and then Schaefer 7.4 is fourth in conference play. Net play defensively, Cholowinski and Sprague with the top spots in the conference, and Ty Heater for Augustana coming in third. Carthage hitting just 143 right now. Augustana at .048 thus far. That goes off the rafters, and unable to catch up to it is Schaefer on its way down. And it'll be a point for Carthage as they take a 2-point lead, 19-17. That ball sent about a foot or two too long by Otto, goes back to Augustana. And they will send Schultz back to serve, trailing by 1. But yeah, 12-9 this Augustana team in 2020, 9-7 in 2021. Those kind of COVID years, and a nice misdirection there, and Otto able to barely get a piece of that, tip it over the top, and gets it to fall in the middle of the court. And it'll come back to Carthage as they hit 20 and have a 2-point lead, and will put the serve in the hands of Cholowinski. And he'll send it long and give it right back to Augustana. Yeah, 12-9 this Augustana team in 2020, 9-7 in 2021. They finished last year 500, 12-12, but they were just 2-8 in conference play. As Carlson is back to serve, trying to even it up, but will send it way long. And it'll go back to Carthage. 2-point lead, 4 points short of taking the opening set here. Bond checks in for Augustana. Heiss serving for Carthage. Augustana able to set something up middle. It's initially dug out, kept alive by the speaker. Initially dug by Nolan, kept alive by the speaker. But it'll go to Augustana as Carthage wasn't able to. Now the speaker they might rule that out of play. Or they didn't get the pancake there. Over on 1. Augustana controls. Having to make an adjustment there was Bolin. Attack middle by Marcus dug out. Now Augustana trying to keep it alive as that was way out there towards the bleachers. Augustana again after a dig. It'll be a free on 3. Carthage controls. McNulty. Nice set there. Marcus on the one-timer from McNulty, and Carthage back up to a 2-point lead, 22-20. With Brummett serving. Tipped over the top. McNulty. Carthage tries to tip it over. They control again, and that time a much better opportunity for Otto as he wipes it off the block on the far side. Carthage 2 points away from taking set number 1, and Augustana will use their second timeout here in set number 1 as Carthage leads 23-20. Yeah, this Augustana team, so 12-12 last year, 2-8 in the CCIW. Last time I was on a Carthage broadcast with you, we were talking about how that was back on March 13th, how Augustana had quite the gauntlet they were going to be running through. They were at Loris that evening. Then they were coming here to they're hosting Carthage, and then they were traveling to North Central. They were able to take one of those 3. They were able to take straight set win on the road against North Central. They lost 3-1 to Carthage, and they lost in straight sets to Loris in Dubuque, Iowa. And then they won what they should win against Illinois Wesleyan in North Park, and now they finished the season. They had Loris on Wednesday. They hosted them. They dropped that one in straight sets, and now trying to wreck Carthage's opportunity to be co-CCIW regular season champs here tonight in Sauer Senior Day. So far, Carthage has been up to the task as they lead 23-20 over Augustana here in our opening set. Brummett to serve, with Carthage needing 2 points here to take set number 1. Big time power serve. Augustana able to control. 3-meter kill attempt by Bolin goes wide on the near side, and Carthage within a point of taking set number 1 as the crowd rises to their feet here to cheer on the team, and the clapping starts. Brummett off the ribbon and down for a big ace. The ribbon taketh, but that time the ribbon giveth. And Carthage will take set number 1, 25-20 over Augustana on just the 3rd service ace of the season for Brummett. Take a look at the team stats here from set number 1 as soon as we get the full refresh. 10 kills for Carthage to 7 for Augustana. Carthage ended up hitting 250 in set number 1, and for Carthage, their attack percentage 297 on the season. Meanwhile, for Augustana, they hit .040 there in set number 1. They normally come in attacking at a 261 clip, so well below their average on the season. 9 assists for the Firebirds, 7 for Augustana. 3 service aces for Carthage to 2 for Augustana. Both teams with 6 service errors. 1 solo block and 2 block assists for Augustana, 2 block assists for Carthage. Carthage 7 digs to 4 for Augustana. A look at our leaderboard after set number 1. Bolin with 4 kills for Augustana. Otto matched him with 4. Cholowinski with 3. David Marcus with 2. As you see the percentage or the stats up there on the screen now for you. Schaefer with 6 assists for Augustana, McNulty with 9. A pair of aces for Schultz, Geiger, Brummett, and Otto with aces each. Blocks 1.5 for Schultz and a half block for Carlson for Augustana, half blocks for McNulty and Cholowinski. Sellers with 3 digs for Augustana, and Carthage had, everybody with Carthage had just 1 in set number 1. We're going to leave you with the sounds from inside the Tarbell Arena for another minute or so, and we'll come back with set number 2. Carthage takes set 1, 25-20 over Augustana. (25-20), Carthage takes the opening set. Hard-fought battle. Augustana coming off a straight set home loss to Loras on Wednesday, but that match was tight. 2 of the 3 sets in the match decided by just 2 points, including a 30-28 set 2 win for Loras. Dug out initially by the libero Sellers, but sends it into the net. Nobody else on the near side of the court to our cameras. And it'll be a point for Carthage, and it will have Cholowinski serving. 325 in attendance here today for Senior Day. Nice crowd. And a reception error almost there by Loras. Carthage able to set it up. Nice dig by Sellers. And into a triple block, and can't get it through that wall. And it'll be another point for Carthage. Carthage read that one well. They knew right away where that ball was going, where that attack attempt was going, and they just had the wall over there. Sellers handles the initial touch, a little tap over the top. Carthage controlling. Kill attempt, and into the block was Bolin. Carthage controls, tipped over the top by Brummett. Augustana, they send it wide. And oh man, Cholowinski showing some flexibility over there, Matrix style. Going down to the knees, twisting at the waist, and somehow getting out of the way of a ball that was destined right for him. Well, they're adding dodgeball at a lot of colleges now, and that would have been a great dodgeball move right there by Cholowinski. And able to wipe that one off the block on the far side is Carlson. And it'll be a point in the serve back to Augustana. They trail 3-1. Bolin will serve. Bolin off the ribbon of the netting. Joust at the net. Back to Carthage. Blocked at the net on the attack attempt from the far side by Heiss. They'll set it up again. He tries to tip it over the top. Got the timing just right. Schultz could get a palm on it, but couldn't control it at all, and it lands right in front of him. It'll go back to Carthage on the side out. Heiss with 3 kills and a dig now in the match. Serving, Heiss goes back middle to the libero. Setting it up middle right into the midst of Marcus. Schultz able to get it to land, and you just saw Marcus go, oh. He was there, got both hands on it, just mistimed it just a touch as Schultz goes back to serve for Augustana. Little miscommunication perhaps there between McDonald and Otto, and that lands for another service ace. As that is the third one of the match for Schultz, but he sends that attempt long, and it'll come back to Carthage. Leading by a pair, 5-3, as Geiger checks in to go back to serve for the Firebirds. Leading Augustana 1-0, 25-20 winner. And that sails just a little bit long. Geiger with his palms in the air saying, was that not touched? I think was his ask, as it was offered at, but did not get touched over on that far sideline. Didn't look like a touch from the vantage point I have here either. I think that was a good call by the officials. Bond back to serve for Augustana. Trailing by 1. Lost one to the 3-meter line. And trying to slam it straight down was Otto, but it's controlled again now by Carthage, and this kill will be good by Marcus. As it was dug but sent into the padding around the near side pole. Gavin checks in to serve for Carthage. Lost one into the back far corner. They set up on the left side. Easy dig by Gavin. And slam down by Carthage. As they lead 7-4, the 5th kill for Otto. Couple of digs. Carthage hitting 300 in the match now. Left side attempt again. This one will fall. Moriano gets it by a diving Geiger. Nobody over into that near corner for Carthage. Checking in Marcus for the Firebirds. Going back to serve will be Moriano, the junior from Gurnee. A nice timing shot there to Cholowinski, but it's handled by Augustana. Free on 3 to Carthage, and that was tipped at the net. It will be good for Cholowinski. Off the outstretched fingertips of an Augustana player. McNulty back to serve with Carthage leading by 3. And a little bit mishandled there by Bond. And then the attempt is sent wide, and it'll be a point for Carthage as they build up a 4-point lead, 9-5 here in set number 2 after taking set number 1, 20-5. Well, the Firebirds, they swept the CCIW Weekly Men's Volleyball accolades this past week as Owen Otto, I should say, was awarded the hitter, Gene McNulty the setter, and Ryan Cholowinski the defensive player for the Firebirds, who jumped from 10th to 7th in the AVCA rankings. Otto, he was the hitter of the week for the week of February 12th, averaged 3.71 kills and attacked at a 523 clip across the 7 sets that Carthage played the week prior. Had 10 kills without an error on 19 attempts in their sweep of Illinois Wesleyan, and then 16 kills, 4 digs, and 4 blocks, handing Loris their first conference loss of the season. McNulty, 3 times he's gotten setter of the week this season. Had 40 assists in the Wednesday win over Illinois Wesleyan and 43 in the win against Loris, almost 12 assists per set. And then Cholowinski, his 3rd weekly honor as well, as he averaged nearly 1.6 blocks in those 7 sets, had 5 against Illinois Wesleyan, 6 against Loris, which was 1 shy of his career high. McNulty serving for Carthage. Set far side and able to push it through the triple block is Bolin. It'll be a side-out point to Augustana coming out of the timeout, trailing by 3. Heater to serve. Yeah, with the rise of this Augustana team, I mean, CCIW already. Great men's volleyball conference. That is wiped off the block on the far side by Heiss for Carthage. And serve will come back to the Firebirds as Otto will go back to serve. Carthage keeps increasing that attack percentage, 333 now. Big serve there, controlled, and into the block. Bolin right into the arms of Cholowinski. And it'll be a point for Carthage as they extend that lead back up to 5, 11-6 now over Augustana. Set middle, blocked back by Cholowinski. Again into a triple block, and they get it down in front of that block on that left side. Bolin able to get the job done that time for Augustana. And Augustana will get the point in the serve as Schaefer goes back, trailing 11-7 here to Carthage and 1-0. McDonald with initial contact. Dug out, right back over to Carthage. McNulty setting up Brummett again. Can't quite get it home. Into the double block, and it goes out of bounds. Just a little bit wide off that block, and it'll be a point for Augustana. As they pull to within 3, does Augustana. Oh, a little out of sorts there for Carthage. Free on 3 off the ribbon. Heiss tries to knock it home, dug out. Tip over the top. McNulty saves. Pushed over on 2, and there's going to be a double contact called. As for Augustana, looked to be Moriano and Schaefer running into each other there. 12-8 the Carthage lead, with Maury serving for the Firebirds here. Maury forcing him to make a late decision, well placed, and that one was a fishing expedition. Salmon into the net. Carlson for Augustana, and it'll be a point for Carthage. 13-8, the Carthage lead here in our second set as they try to get at least the title of co-CCIW regular season champs. Trying to go down the near sideline, Bolin, but keeps it wide. And another point for Carthage, and it's going to lead to the second timeout by Augustana, as Carthage has opened up a 6-point lead here in our second set, 14-8 over Augustana, already leading 1-0. Take a look at our team stats here in set number 2. Each team with 6 kills, but Carthage, no errors in 18 attempts, hitting that .333. Meanwhile, Augustana, 6 kills. They've had 5 errors. Check that, 6 errors now on the attack in 18 attempts, so hitting 0. 1 service ace for Augustana to go with a service error, 1 service error for Carthage. Regardless of the outcome of this one, Carthage will be hosting the semifinals of the CCIW men's volleyball tournament. The opponent unknown, it could very well be this Augustana team again, coming back here on Wednesday, April 10th, a 7 o'clock start for that semifinal match. As the 4 teams in are decided, it will be Loras, Carthage, Augustana, and North Central. North Central has slipped to 4-5 in the conference standings, fallen out of the, or actually they're 19 still in the top 20 rankings. That blocked back by Marcus, but couldn't control it, sends it wide, and it'll be Augustana serve as Cholowinski checks in for the Firebirds. And Carlson back to serve. 5-point lead for Carthage. Nice save there by McDonald on the serve, and into the triple block. Brummett didn't have much of a chance there, as it was a good wall put up by Augustana, and they pulled it within 4 at 14-10. So they get a point here out of the timeout, but then sending it into the net is Bolin. And it'll go back to Carthage, as Heiss will go back to serve for Carthage. And Heiss sends it long and gives it right back to these Vikings. Augustana, they have a Viking helmet that one of the players on the sidelines, on the bench, wears. Ben Schultz serving here. And a nice one-timer. McNulty is able to line it up with Marcus yet again. And Marcus lays it down. Geiger checks in to go back to serve. 16-11, the lead for Carthage here in the second set. Up into the rafters, off of one of the down speakers. And then it was, well, there was a call of a touch and then long. So I believe it was long, and it will go to Carthage. 17-11, 6-point lead here. Loras playing North Central this afternoon. We'll get you an update from that one. And a nice timing shot there by Zach Moriano, as he just seemed to hang in the air for a long, long time and was able to just kind of push that one down. And Augustana will have Bond check in to go back to serve. (17-12) the Carthage lead. Set middle, Geiger tips it over, tip right back. Joust at the net, able to tip it over the top is Heiss. And Moriano with a kill attempt, a joust at the net again, and able to get it over. Free on 3 are the Firebirds. And then a block, as Augustana had a great opportunity to set it all up. And it was blocked right back at him. 18-12, 6-point lead for Carthage as Gavin comes in to serve. North Central taking the first set against Loras and up in the second set. Still a chance that Carthage could be outright CCIW regular season champs as Gavin puts that into the net. And McNulty will check back in along with Marcus for Carthage. Back to serve for Augustana. Moriano down 5 here in set number 2. And that is a service error. Give it right back to Carthage with McNulty going back. Trying to get to the 20-point mark here. As he checks with Coach Kiekefer to see where this serve should go. Partially blocked at the net, and Carthage controls. Trying to tip it over the top. Did he wipe it off the block? He did. Owen Otto elevated, stayed up there. No, now they're going to say that it was Augustana ball. Initially, one official ruled a touch. And it will be Heater serving again, and he'll send this one well long. 20-14, 6-point lead for Carthage here in set number 2. And things really have gotten interesting here with this senior day match, with North Central taking set number 1 and up in set number 2. As Bolin puts it into the triple block. They set Bolin again. He sends it a little longer. McNulty gets a hand on it, and it's free on 3 to Augustana. They set middle, and Schultz hit back. Nice dig on the Carthage side by Nolan. Carthage sets it up. Schultz with the block, and it lands. And we had an early whistle on that one. I think they're saying that Carthage was into the net. They are. And it'll be Augustana serving. Schaefer with the serve, trailing by 5. Schaefer lofts it over as Heiss is able to come in behind, or Otto check that, comes in behind Cholowinski and is able to get the kill for Carthage on a nicely designed middle attack there for the Firebirds. And Cholowinski back to serve with Carthage leading by half a dozen and needing 4 to take set number 2 here. Go all the way on the left side. It was touched on the attack by Carlson at the net, and it will be a point for Augustana. (21-16). The Carthage lead here is Bolin will serve as they do a little cleanup on the court. Make sure everybody's got the right stick that they like. McNulty sets middle. Coming from the back row was Otto, handled by Augustana. Now Carthage sets again, cross court. Heiss nails it. 22-16. The lead for Carthage here in set number 2 as Heiss goes back to serve. Right side into the block. Nice block by Brummett. Free on 3. Back to Carthage. Carthage controls. McNulty near side. And it's kept alive. But pushing it down is Carlson right in front of Noland. He was able to get his hands on it, but couldn't elevate it. And it's a 5-point Carthage lead with the serve going to Schultz, who's got a few service aces here this afternoon already. McNulty going to the court, able to set that one up for Brummett, who's able to wipe it off the block and down. And it's a 23-17 Carthage lead as Brummett will now try to see if he can't serve it out. Carthage needs 2 to take set number 2 and a 2-zip lead here. And Brummett puts that into the net. Go right back to Augustana. Carlson with the serve. Trailing by 5. No more timeouts left here in set number 2 for Augustana. Carthage has not used one yet this afternoon, and that just long. And Carthage to set point as the crowd again stands and they get on their feet. And trying to serve it out for the Firebirds is Marcus, who's had a nice match thus far here for Carthage. Tip over the top, and it will work for Augustana, as they were able to get it over that line of defense and down. And they'll now be serving what it still is set point for Carthage. It'll be Moriano with the serve for Augustana as the crowd continues to stand. Officials ready, everybody ready. 24-19 into the net. A service error is how set number 2 will end, and Carthage will take a 2-0 lead over Augustana as they try to get at least the title of co-CCIW regular season champs. Here's the developing story, folks. In Dubuque, North Central is up 2-0 on Loris. They took set number 1, 26-24. They took set number 2, 25-19 over the Duhawks as we get to our break here between after the second set. But that a big time developing story as Carthage, depending how that turns out, could be the outright CCIW regular season champs. We'll take a look at our stats here from set number 2 as Carthage takes set 2 25-19. And in the set, Carthage with 10 kills, actually one less than Augustana. Augustana had 11, but they had 8 attack errors in 33 attempts as they attacked at a rate of .091. What you see up there is on the match where the two teams are, giving you the stats for set number 2 here individually as you take a look at those match stats up there. But one service ace in that set as Carthage was hitting in the set and in the match. Actually, they were hitting .333, so they dropped a little bit there as that set went on. Our leaderboard, take a look at that for you as my page refreshes here. I'll tell you what, we'll come back and we'll give you the leaderboard. We'll take a break for now as we're in between the second and third set. Carthage leads Augustana 2-0. Meanwhile, out in Dubuque, Iowa, North Central leads Loris 2-0. If that ends up holding, whoo boy, Carthage can have the outright claim of CCIW regular season champs. If they win this one, they'll at least have a share of the title. A look at our leaders through 2 sets for Augustana. Bolin with 8 kills. Otto has 6 for Carthage. Heiss with 5. Cholowinski and Marcus with 4 apiece. Heater hitting at a 750 clip. Schultz at 400 for Augustana. Carthage, Marcus at 500. Heiss at 364. Assist leaders, Schaefer with 15, Moriano with 3 for the Vikings, 18 for McNulty, 1 for Otto. 3 service aces for Schultz, and 1 each for Geiger, Brummett, and Otto for Carthage, as Carthage will get the serve in set number 3 here, up 2 sets to none. Over on 1 and spiked down by Brummett at the net for the first point here in set number 3, and it goes to the Firebirds of Carthage. We'll keep you up to date on that Loris North Central score, as that serve is sent wide by Otto. It'll go right back to Augustana. Serving is Schaefer for Augustana. 20, 25, 19. That is sets 1 and 2, as Schaefer sent that serve into the net. And it's a 2-1 Carthage lead here in our 3rd set. Cholowinski back to serve for Carthage. Of course, we will have our post-match interview with J.W. Kiekefer, the head coach of Carthage, when this one is done. And into the block. And sending that one back for Carthage is David Marcus, says postage due, and puts it back to the Augustana side. 3-1 the Carthage lead. Marcus 3 blocks, 4 kills here in the match thus far. Cholowinski lofts that one over. Set middle, and able to finish the job that time is Schultz. It'll go back to Augustana. They trail by 1. And Bolin will have the serve. But yeah, this Augustana team, if they keep this trajectory that they had this year, man, the CCIW, how can it get any tougher, as Bolin sends that into the net. And it'll be Heiss serving for Carthage. You have 3 teams that are ranked right now. Augustana still getting votes in the AVCA rankings. Tipped over by Schultz. Carthage controls. Coming from the back row, but sending it a little long is Otto. And it'll be a side-out point to Augustana. Carthage leading by 3, 5-2. Oh no, check that. Must have been touched. Carthage leading 5-2. With Heiss serving. Setting up near side into the block, sent back to Augustana on 1 at the net, and another smackdown by Brummett. A lot of 1s and over on those possessions off that serve. And Carthage with a 6-2 lead. Set on the right side and able to knock it home is Carlson off the block. Side out point to Augustana. Being doubled up right now, 6-3 with Schultz serving. Right side, cross court, beauty by Otto. Side out point back to Carthage. Geiger will check in, and he'll serve for the Firebirds, leading by 4, 7-3 here in the 3rd set. Right side off the ribbon of the net on the attack attempt by Carlson, and out of bounds. Point for Carthage as they lead 8-3. No timeout yet from Augustana. Set number 2, they took one when Carthage went up by about half a dozen. That is outside the antenna. It'll be a side-out point back to Augustana here. And subbing in is Bond, and Bond will go back to serve. Again, we'll keep an eye on what's going on in Dubuque, because that has huge ramifications for both the teams on this court as well. Joust at the net, and it'll be a double contact by Heater. Heater hit the first one, saw nobody was there, tried to get away with hitting the second one, and got caught doing so. Gavin checking in for Carthage, and that is going to be a timeout taken by Augustana, I do believe. Their first here in set number 2 as they trail 9-4. Said we would keep an eye on what's going on in Dubuque because of the importance of that match for both the teams here as well. The 4 teams into the tournament are set. That is Loras, Carthage, Augustana, and North Central. Carthage obviously here playing Augustana, hosting them. Loras hosting North Central. North Central took the first 2 sets out in Dubuque, 26-24 and 25-19. Set number 3 is even at 10 apiece. So Loras and Carthage right now fighting to be regular season CCIW champions. Augustana and North Central, Augustana 5-4 in conference, North Central 4-5 in conference. So that a big one there as well for both of these teams. Now taking a look, Augustana on March 20th, they beat North Central 3-0. And they lost to North Central 3-2 in a 5-setter back on March 2nd. So come down to a tiebreaker situation there of who would get 3rd and 4th if these scores tend to hold here. Carthage serving up by 5. Augustana into the net on the attack attempt coming from Moriano. Gavin keeps with the serve for Carthage, now leading by half a dozen. Augustana has used 1 of their timeouts. Oh, a nice little fake. Went with the left hand as he got to the net, did Heater, and just pushed it down right along that sideline. Checking in is Marcus, and then it'll be the libero exchange for Carthage. Back to serve for Augustana is Moriano, the junior out of Gurnee. McDonald with the first touch, the fake there, and a block at the net. Back to Carthage, and McNulty just took that one himself and went into the back far corner. Checking that left arm, think he got it on the wrist is what he was pointing to. Didn't even get all of that and still sent it down with a whole ton of authority, and now goes back to serve with that left arm. At the net, trying the dump, but right there to say, nope, we're not accepting anything today is Otto, and pushes it back to the Augustana side. It's a 12-5 Carthage lead. It's after hours to go to the city dump. They're closed. Wiping it off the fingertips. Carthage controls. Cholowinski free on 3. Augustana, and that is Heater that is able to power it down off of a double block in the middle. And Augustana will have the serve, and Heater will go back to serve. Carthage doubling up Augustana here in set number 3. A must-win to keep this one going for Augustana. Little miscommunication there. McNulty was able to get to it. Augustana controls, blocked back to the Augustana side. They get 1 contact, but that is it. And it'll be a side-out point to Carthage as they lead by 7, and they'll put it off the arm of Otto here on the serve. And now we have the official asking for the two captains to come to the stand. Not sure what the discussion was there. 13-6, the Carthage lead. Off the ribbon. Oh, nice adjustment on being able to play that one even for Augustana. And that is blocked out of bounds. Looked to be off the arm of Heiss, and it'll be Augustana ball as Schaefer will serve. Checking in for the Vikings is Carlson. 13-7. The Carthage leading 2-0. McNulty goes far side, and a big hit by Brummett. Ooh. Smoke coming off that ball as Carthage is going to take the serve back. And a 7-point lead as they're doubling up. Augustana, Carthage hitting back over 300, 317 now, with Maury taking the serve. Set middle and just a little tap over. Carthage with an opportunity, and they go near side with Heiss, and Heiss is able to slam it off of Sellers and down for the point. 15-7, 8-point lead for Carthage here in set number 3. What could be a decisive set number 3. Nice timing pattern there. Schultz is able to slap it down on the Carthage side. Serve will go back to Augustana with Bolin having the serve. Cholowinski checks in for Carthage. Bolin over on one. It goes off of the shoulder blade. Schultz slammed it down, goes off of McNulty's shoulder, back over, but wide on the near side to the camera. And it'll be a point for Augustana. 15-9, the lead. And trying to go cross court as Brummett, he sends it wide at about the 3-meter line to the near side. 15-10. Carthage lead down to 5. And that is sent a mile long by Bolin. Service error will give it back to the Firebirds. And Heiss will have the serve for Carthage. Trying to win their 10th straight match of the season. Right time to get hot. Set middle, Schultz is dug. Tipped over the top, back on one to Carthage. Brummett tips it, kept alive, free on 3, back to the Firebirds. McNulty sets right side. Marcus with the kill attempt, but Augustana able to set it up, and Schultz able to hammer it down. 16-11, the Carthage lead as Schultz goes back to serve. And sends that one long. And Carthage lead extended back up to half a dozen. Geiger checks in and will go back to serve for the Firebirds. Also trying to win their 10th straight match at home dating back to last year. Their last loss at home came on April Fool's Day a year ago to North Central. And that close to the net, it was contacted by Augustana. Carthage reset it. Now Augustana. Dig by Carthage by Nolan. Nolan free on 3, back to Augustana. Augustana set middle, and that is blocked at the net by Marcus. And then the attack is wide by Augustana. It'll be a point for Carthage. Leading by 7. And we are going to have another timeout here. I believe the second by Augustana, trailing by 7. As for Augustana, Moriano comes over to talk to the umpire on the stand here and pointing over to Carthage, saying something about something that's going on the Carthage bench. 18-11 in set 3 here, with Carthage leading 2-0. Keeping an eye on Dubuque, Iowa. Dubuque. North Central took the first 2 sets, 26-24, 25-19. In set number 3, Loris, they have a bit of a lead here. Getting late in set 3, it was 19-14 out in Dubuque. Carthage with a win here on Senior Day will lay claim to at least co-CCIW regular season champs with Loris. Of course, if North Central can keep up what they're doing out there in Dubuque, there is still a chance that Carthage could be the outright CCIW champs. That an important match also for Augustana and for North Central, as those two teams are separated by just 1 game in the conference standings. And that could decide who's the 3 seed, who's the 4 seed, and who goes where. Loris, of course, hosting the Final Four, and that is a power service ace by Geiger to make it 19-11. The diving attempt by Sellers couldn't get it done. And that will go off the top of the net and be Augustana ball. Want to thank you for joining us here this afternoon for Senior Day. I'm Don Wadowitz, joined by our production crew, Addie Weeks, Allison Koklamas, and Sophia Salcido. Want to thank them for their efforts here this afternoon as well. Bond back to serve for Augustana, trailing by 7, 19-12. Set middle, Geiger is dug out by Sellers. Now Augustana's attempt. They try to send it down the near sideline off the arm of Moriano, but he sends it wide and by the blocker. And it'll be a side out point back to Carthage as they lead 20-12. And it'll be Gavin serving for Carthage. Gavin just sails that one over the ribbon, and one touch and over and out of bounds by Bolin. Nice serve there by Gavin. Just enough to get it over that net, and didn't give much of a chance there to Bolin. 21-12. The lead getting late in set number 3. Set middle, and that is down. Bolin able to slam it in. And Augustana will get the serve with Moriano serving here. Down 8 in set number 3. Trailing 2-0. Loris very close. They are set point in set number 3 out in Dubuque. Nice pancake, but the tip over is wide. What a great job there. Wow, by McNulty, serving up a flapjack. 21-14 though, Augustana with the point. And now a little cleanup of the court where McNulty hit the deck to serve up that pancake. McNulty, middle, Cholowinski, it's blocked at the net, or touched, I should say, at the net by Bolin, and sails wide. Point Carthage, McNulty serving. Carthage needing 3 to close this one out in straight sets over Augustana. Meanwhile, Loris has won set number 3 as McNulty sends that into the net. So they will go to a 4th set out in Dubuque with North Central leading 2-1. Again, that match important to both teams that are on the court here this afternoon here in the Tarbell Arena. Serve sails just a little bit long for Augustana. 23-15. Carthage 2 points away from securing the win and the title of at least co-CCIW regular season champs. Auto serve goes off the rafter, off the arms of Sellers, and it's match point as the crowd quickly gets on their feet. Carthage trying to close out Augustana in straight sets here on Senior Day. Otto sends it just long. Augustana has served out the first 2 sets, but they trail 2 sets to none, so not the way you want to do it. Carlson checks in. It'll be up to Schaefer to try and keep the hopes alive, trailing by 8. Brummett into the block of Schultz and down on the Carthage side. 7-point Carthage lead as Augustana still serves match point, but for Carthage. Schaefer just in, touches the line. Brummett let it go. It was a close one. In a game when you're leading by 7, can let that one go. If it was a little bit tighter, you maybe second guess that and go for it. Brummett, McNulty, Cholowinski ends it. Carthage will lay claim to at least a share of the CCIW regular season title as they take down Augustana in straight sets here in the Tarbell Arena. 25-20, 25-19, 25-18. Stay with us as we will be talking with head men's volleyball coach J.W. Kiekhaefer in just a moment here on our broadcast of Carthage men's volleyball. We'll come back in just a second with some of the stats from this one for you. As they thank the 325 folks that were in attendance. Take a look at the key stats from this match. A straight set sweep by Carthage. 30 kills to 27 for Carthage. Carthage hitting 286, a little under their season average. Augustana 274, and we have something else going. There's going to be an award here, so we'll turn it over. Because they will at least be co-champs here. I think they are going to be giving them the award for that honor here in the regular season. And of course, we've been keeping you up to date on what's happening out in Dubuque, Iowa. They have just started set number 4 out there. North Central and Loris. North Central leading that one 2-1 right now as they took the first 2. A chance that Augustana may be back here on Wednesday. Carthage will host a semifinal match in the CCIW men's volleyball tournament. That'll be 7 o'clock on Wednesday here in the Tarbell Arena. It'll depend whether they are the 1 seed or the 2 seed and who is the 3 and the 4.
Now for the presentation of the 2024 CCIW Men's Volleyball Regular Season Championship Trophy by CCIW Executive Director Bo Hardy. This time, as Carthage's captains to step forward and receive the championship trophy, the Firebirds have secured a share of the CCW title with a record of 9 wins and 1 loss. Congratulations, Carthage College, 2024 CCIW Men's Model Champions.
So as you heard, Carthage at least a share of the CCIW regular season title. They have their hopes set on that postseason title, that tournament title as well, and that bid into the NCAA tournament. CCIW teams, of course, have done a lot of damage in that tournament. This Carthage team winning the national title in back-to-back years. North Central going to the championship a year ago. Again, 3 teams, Loras ranked 5th, Carthage ranked 7th, North Central ranked 19th in the April 2nd AVCA NVA Division III men's volleyball poll. Augustana receiving votes. They had 9 points total in that poll. As you see the standings, as Carthage improves to 9-1 now in those standings, 17-5 overall. Augustana will fall to 500 and 18-6 on the season. And then, of course, the match taking place out in Dubuque between Loras and North Central, as set number 4, Loras has taken a early lead over North Central 4-1 as they try to force a decisive 5th set out there. So after we talk to head coach J.W. Kiekefer, head out there and watch the finish to that match, because that will determine a lot here for Carthage and what things look like coming up for the Firebirds as we await Coach Kiekefer to come join us on the broadcast here this afternoon. Want to thank you for tuning in here on Senior Day. Carthage with the win, 10 straight wins on the season, getting hot at the right time. Also their 10th straight home win dating back to last year. So a couple of nice accolades there for Carthage as they have protected the home court very well here at the Tarbell Arena. 25-20, 25-19, 25-18, our leaders. Otto with 8 kills in the match. Heiss with 6, Cholowinski with 6, including the exclamation point winner. Marcus with 5. Bolin led all players with 10. Schultz, Carlson, and Heater had 5 for Augustana. Heater hit 714, Schultz 556. For Carthage, McNulty 1,000. He had his 1 attempt in there. Marcus 455, Heiss 385, Cholowinski 333. Assists 25 for McNulty in the contest. Otto and Cholowinski with 1 apiece. Schaefer with 23 for Augustana. Moriano with 3. Schultz with 3 service aces. Then you have Schaefer with 1 and Moriano, he's listed twice, so we'll go with Moriano may have had a couple of service aces in this one. Geiger, Brummett, Otto, and Gavin each credited with 2 aces for Carthage. Schultz with 2.5 blocks, Carlson with 1.5 blocks, and Moriano with a half block for Augustana. Marcus and Heiss with a pair of blocks each. Otto with 1.5, Cholowinski with 1 for the Firebirds. Diggs, Sellers 9, Schaefer 6, Bond and Moriano with 3 apiece for the Vikings. For Carthage, 4 apiece for Otto, Noland, and McNulty, and McDonald with a pair of Diggs. Point leaders, 10 each for Bolin and Schultz on the Augustana side, 5.5 for Carlson, 5 for Heater. Meanwhile, on the Carthage side, you have 11 for Otto, 8 for Marcus and Cholowinski, and 7 for Heiss. Individually for Carthage, Otto with 8 kills, 3 errors, 16 attempts, hit 313. Heiss, 6-1 and 13, hit 385. Cholowinski, 6-2 and 12, hit 333 in the contest. As we get ready for head coach J.W. Kiekefer, that is going to join us here now. And do we have you there, Coach?
Yeah, I think you got me just a little soft. There we go.
There we go. Now we got you. You lost your voice in this one, huh? A little bit soft.
I need to drink more water, I think, is why that. Really proud of our group. It was a fun battle today. Augustana is a really, really good volleyball team. They bring a lot of pressure with their offense. And Max Sellers is the real deal in left back. He is one of the best defenders in the country, one of the best liberos in the country overall. And he does so many things to affect a match in the backcourt. It's really cool to see what he does for his team and how important he is for his team. And we just decided we were going to keep the offense on him and keep bringing pressure from the middle of the court. And then Keegan Brummett got going too in the left pin, and that was a lot of fun. So really proud of Keegan for having a tough first set and a half, and then he gets going with a bunch of kills. And the offense got running there. Ben Heiss had a really good night offensively today on the right pin. We got him a lot of really good one-on-one looks throughout the match. Always fun to have David Marcus in the Carthage jersey and playing volleyball. We don't get that very often, so to have him on the court is exciting, and super happy to celebrate these seniors. And I talked about this in the locker room, and that this is such a culture thing for us and how much better we got throughout the year. And it's about fighting for that guy next to you and fighting for that culture and fighting for making practice every day joyous to get better every single day. So couldn't be more proud of Mitch, of Chewy, of I'm going to miss somebody, but Justin. 5 is Easton. 6 is Keegan. 11 is Gene, and 22 is David. I hope I didn't miss anybody there. Trying to rattle them all off, but just really proud of this senior class and how they've taught these young guys how to fight for each other and fight for a culture and fight for the camaraderie that you need to win championships. So culture win. Proud of these guys for going behind the 8 ball against Loras and then going down 0-2 against North Central and always believing in themselves to get a share of this thing. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, and you look like a natural with that. Look like you've held one of those before, on a broadcast. Yeah. So slow starts have kind of been something. I was looking through some of the matches, and 9 matches where you won but allowed your opponents to win a set. 7 of those they took the first set.
Yeah.
First set was another one that was kind of back and forth until you guys hit about that 20-point mark, and then really you kind of created some separation.
Yeah.
You've won 10 in a row now. You're getting hot at the right time. Good to get that first set win here as well. Is there anything, from a coaching perspective, anything that you can do about that? Or
yeah, we're trying to just be more focused in our warm up of one of the things this team does really well is they compete with emotion and energy really well. And so it's tough to get that going at 0-0. It just is there's nothing for you to give emotion to and get excited about, right? And that's what this team really rides on, that emotion. And so they have to learn to bring it themselves, right? For the first big swing, the first big block, the first big dig, the first good pass, the first good set is we got to celebrate that one really loudly and bring that emotion early and get going. And it starts in the warm-up about how they're celebrating the little things in the warm-up. And I think we just have to do a little better in the warm-up phases of hitting lines and the 6s in the warm-up of trying to celebrate some things and get people fired up and get going. I think Owen Otto is a perfect case of that. A little bit slow start, and he gets going, and this team kind of rides on his emotion. When Owen Otto talks at all, period, we get a lot of emotion. So when Owen gets going, it's nice for us.
And today you had the added kind of senior day. I talked about that a little bit, and there's emotions with that, and it's kind of you've done your warm-ups, and now you have this 10-minute ceremony, and now you don't have any sort of warm-up. You just got to go right into it. And I was interested in seeing how the team handled that, and they seemed to handle that pretty well.
Really well. We ran a little bit different of a lineup there in set 1 to try to get all of our seniors on the floor to start, which is super cool. We got to get Justin Jurdat back there to serve the first 2 balls. It was cool. We won the first point to give him a second ball, but to get him on the court for his last play as a Firebird was important. To get all those seniors the start and to get the video board and everybody riled up for those seniors was important to us to play for them. And because of that, we came out in a little bit different of a lineup. And so it just took us a little bit to get going in that new lineup and that new phase. And you saw in 2 and 3 when we're playing Carthage volleyball, it's just really fun and tough to stop. The offense just comes at you from different areas of the court, from the left side, from the right side, from the middle. There's just so much pressure all the time. And David takes the ball in the center of the court and rotates to the right and hits a middle and a right pinball in the same rally. Our ability to use the entire length of the net this year makes us pretty elite. And Gene's ability to distribute that ball across the entire length of the net this year makes us elite. So proud of our guys, proud of our battle, and excited to continue to go to war for one more match in the semifinals and keep grinding.
A month ago when I was last here with you, I think we talked about like trying to ramp up as the season went on and kind of hit being hot, playing your best volleyball at the right time.
Yeah.
How close do you think you are to that right now heading into the CCIW tournament?
Our best ball, I think, there's always more to get, especially with the young group that we have. There's always more that we can do. There's always more we can get better at. But you're seeing the offensive connections that we need to have. I think that can continue to get a little bit cleaner. But when you talk about what really good teams do well, it's defense. Winning championships is about defense. Everybody can play offense in the CCW tournament. Like that Augustana team is a good offensive team. Everybody can play offense. Augustana, North Central, Loras, everybody can play offense. It's your ability to play defense consistently and locked in that wins. And I thought Zach Noland was elite in left back today. Some big swings taken right at him. He made some big digs as that match went on. Ryan Cholowinski is an absolute wall at the net. A couple of Defensive Player of the Year awards for him, or conference, Player of the Week awards, me, for him. Just that ability to affect a match defensively and continue to play great volleyball with the offense and putting those both together is what we were missing early. And I think we're slowly marching towards putting both of those phases of the game together, both our offense and our defense together. So that's what championship volleyball is like you said, peaking at the right time, going upward. We're going the right direction. We're not there yet, but we're going the right direction. A lot more work left to give there. But that's really just about the culture and how these guys fight for each other to win every single day. And can we maintain that gym energy every single day, that fun energy every single day? And I think we'll be all right.
One of the things that I noticed today that I don't know that I noticed as well when I was with you a month ago was it seemed that defensively you were reading the attack a lot better. I saw a lot more opportunities where you're going, where your squad was able to go up with 3 blockers in an area. That seemed to be something that has maybe improved over time. Yeah,
I think it's just an effort to go do that. I think from time to time we struggle to just do that. And it's hard work to triple block. It's hard work to read an attacker outside of their body and make a dig, right? And the ability to see the game well, but also to give that extra effort, that one extra step to go triple block, that one extra step to go run down a high line roll shot, that one extra step, not taking that one extra step, I guess, to be calm and letting the ball get hit right at you, is discipline combined with effort, and that creates good defense. So we found that, I think last month. I really do agree with that. The discipline with the effort, both have really increased mightily here in the last couple weeks for sure.
Postseason's a little bit different. Your squad is familiar with that.
Yes, we are.
What are you looking at out of your squad here in the tournament and hopefully beyond?
Nothing different. One match at a time. That's the goal, and it's hard to produce unless you've done it before. We got a lot of guys that know how to compete, taking one point at a time, one moment at a time, one game at a time. And we were really elite with our scouting reports, to lock in on those. We're really elite on understanding how we want to attack teams throughout matches, and that's what matters. Lock in on this moment, this point. And we talk about being relentless a lot, being consistent a lot with our focus and our effort. And if you do that throughout the year, nothing changes when you're in the tournament. Relentless, consistent. If you do that all season long, you just play the same volleyball you've been playing all season long, and that's what we're going for. The same volleyball we've played all month long here in that high run of Carthage volleyball. So nothing different. Lock in a scout, do it really, really well, and give a lot of effort.
Coach, congratulations again on at least a share of that CCIW regular season championship. But I know you have higher hopes for this team entering the postseason.
Thanks, man. Great to have you here, and go Birds.
Thank you much, sir. That was head coach J.W. Kiefer following his team's straight set victory here tonight over Augustana, 25-20, 25-19, and 25-18. Just one more update for you from Dubuque in set 4. Loras up on North Central, 16-11 there. So make sure you go check that one out to see how it finishes and see whether Carthage are the co-CCIW regular season champs or outright still an opportunity for that. I want to thank our entire crew here today. Addie Weeks, Allison Koklamis, and Sophia Salcido for helping us out on the production end of things. I'm Don Wadowitz. Carthage, straight set winners over Augustana here at the Tarbell Arena. Please have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. Live life to the fullest. Be good to one another, everyone. This has been Carthage College Firebird Broadcast Production.